done.
Yeah, chat.
Oh, there
hello!
we go! Okay.
Yes, hello all. Sorry, we were having technical difficulties.
First stream failed. Let me just tweet out the link to this one. Where is the link?
Yes, again, apologies for technical difficulties. We have never done this before, so it's all a learning curve.
Take two.
Yep. So I don't know if anybody's watching just yet, but now the link is out there. So there we go.
Make your way over here.
Yep. So hello and welcome to Flutzes and Waxels YouTube edition.
We are here live in Montreal.
Yep.
We have been here all weekend for Skate Canada. And competition wrapped up last night. So we thought we would do a quick little live stream for you guys.
Yeah, we did consider, as I'm sure you're aware, doing more like live recaps and things, but it has been way too busy of a weekend to do that. We got home at about midnight last night. So
yeah.
And as I'm sure you can tell by our voices, exhausted.
Yeah, also we screamed a lot. If you were following us on Twitter, you probably know that.
/ heard us on the live stream. There were a few people, you can probably guess who, where we were definitely screaming.
Yeah, so we'll give everybody just like another minute or so to show up, and then we will get right into the recap.
Yes, and if you have any questions, anything you'd like us to discuss, you can put it in the comments or tweet at us.
Yes.
We will be doing full recaps when we get home, but those might be a little slow coming out because obviously we still have to get home and record all of it while still doing work and sleep.
Yes, sleep especially.
Yeah. It's definitely been a great weekend, though.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the strongest live competitions that we personally have seen.
This is definitely the strongest live competition we have ever been to.
Yeah.
Skate Canada 2016 was the next best, and the men were a hot mess.
Well, we were also at Skate America 2013. Mm-hmm. That one was really pretty strong.
Yeah.
Especially in, the dance and things.
The dance was incredible in Skate America 2013. Some of the other disciplines, not so much, though.
Yeah. But this was definitely an exciting one, for sure.
This was huge for us. I mean, we don't normally travel this far for a Grand Prix.
Yeah, we're fortunate enough in Toronto that things come to that general area often enough that we can, just go from home.
We can drive an hour each way to get there as opposed to taking a train for 5 hours to get to Montreal.
Yeah, which is why we will be skipping the gala just because we have to get home.
Yeah, and then go to work tomorrow morning.
Also, last call. It's probably a bit too late, but we still have those gala tickets.
If somebody you want them, tweet us. Post in the chat.
Yeah, we'll figure out something.
I'll send you an email with the tickets.
Yeah.
We can't use them. Somebody should.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yeah, so let's get into it. What do you want to discuss first?
Why don't we start with the event of heartbreak?
Yeah.
The dance.
Oh, the dance. This was definitely, in a lot of ways, the worst, in some ways, dance event we've seen live.
Yeah.
Have never seen, especially in person. Yeah, 3 falls in one Grand Prix dance event. That's excessive. They were giving us anxiety the entire time.
Yeah, we learned the hard way that we are way too invested.
Yeah.
Because each of us almost had a couple heart attacks during that dance event.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, when there are literal falls happening, and I mean, for all of these teams here, a fall affects your Grand Prix final chances. It affects your scores. It affects a whole lot of things. And to have 3 teams to have a fall, it's too much.
It's stressful. I don't want to deal with that. That's not nice. So why don't we start with the first team of Ultimate Heartbreak?
Yeah.
Susis and Fierce.
Oh, they just, unfortunately for them, just like the fall in the worst possible spot, because that was right in the middle of their step sequence, which is almost the biggest point getter in the rhythm dance. Just destroyed it. And unfortunately, they weren't able to come back quite as strong in the free dance either. There were a couple little mistakes in there as well.
If they hadn't fallen in the RD, the free dance would have been fine. It wouldn't have been amazing, but we wouldn't be complaining about it.
Well, and I mean, that is the tough thing when you're skating first at an event. The judges, they hold back. And, I get it in some ways. It's still a shame because I think if they had been in that second flight, they would have gotten a little bit of a higher score. Again, there were still issues, obviously. But I definitely felt for them for sure because they have great programs, and just a lot of this season they've been having
execution
a tough time.
problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could tell everything after that fall in the rhythm dance was a problem.
Yeah.
They were playing catch up from right after she fell. And there was nothing they could do to stop it.
Yeah.
But it was really unfortunate.
We also had Scope Co-Ventilation really struggle after the fall in their free dance as well. And that one, I just don't know what happened. He just seemed to get off balance and it totally knocked him over.
I mean, that one was way down the other end of the rink.
Yeah, we could. Our angle wasn't fantastic. We still need to rewatch a lot of stuff and, go deep into protocols. Yeah. But that one as well. I mean, right after that was our 1 foot step sequence, and he put his foot down. He was just obviously not ready to get back into it. Yeah. And that's why for them, they really struggled in spite of, we were noticing with them, judges with -3 and -4 on that fall on the lift.
Yeah.
That's not the rule. It's really not.
Mandatory has a meaning. Mm-hmm. It is a mandatory -5 on a fall.
Yeah.
Mandatory. Do we not know what the definition of mandatory is?
I guess not. And then was our final team that made us cry in both programs. Gilles and Poirier in the rhythm dance.
Made us cry because their Tango Romantica went down. They salvaged it pretty well considering.
Yeah, they had an interruption of less than 4 beats, which it could have been a whole lot worse.
If you trip, that is the ideal scenario, is to only get the interruption of less than 4 beats.
Yeah, and the level obviously was down in the GOE, but at least they weren't too far behind to come back. It's just such a shame that they couldn't have been in that final flight. They were, I believe, 1/100th of a point from being in the final flight. Because that free dance, though.
That free dance was the highlight of the competition for me.
Yeah. I would agree.
That was the best skate of the entire weekend.
Yeah.
I am still in shock. As gorgeous as it looks on TV, it was even more gorgeous in person.
Well, and, sort of the emotion of the whole situation where they're trying to come back and obviously things didn't go the way they wanted. It was good for them to be able to have that skate at home. I was so relieved to see it happen.
Yes.
It was looking so fantastic in practices, and I was very nervous just based on what had been happening so far in the competition. Like, no more falls. I don't want any more.
No more falls, no big stumbles, and they didn't have any.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was pretty close to a perfect score. We had 3 teams with pretty close to a perfect score in that free dance.
Yeah, and all really close to each other, which was very interesting. It was kind of too bad as well that they were in that first flight because it kind of sucked the energy out of the final flight.
Yeah.
It was definitely interesting, the reception that Hubble and Donahue got.
Yeah.
And honestly, even for me, I was really hoping that seeing it live would convince me. It would, that would make me love the program.
Yeah.
And, I love watching them, but the program itself didn't bring anywhere near the emotion out of me that Gilles and Poirier did.
Yeah, it was good. It was fine. But they have had so many better programs.
Yeah.
And they're so much better than this program. This program is standard.
Yeah, that's the thing. It was not as memorable as even just something like Loriot and Lagac, who, I
blew the roof off of that place, first of all.
Yeah, they definitely, in that second flight, I think they got the best reception of anybody. Everybody else, the audience was kind of subdued. And the audience was a little subdued, period.
Yeah, the audience had problems.
We were trying to lead the way on applause for some people.
Which is why you will have heard us hooting and hollering in our back corner of the arena because nobody else was doing anything. And certain skaters, we will get to them, needed the appreciation that we have for them.
Yeah. So overall, the dance was an interesting bunch. Again, we'll get more into detail and talk about everybody.
High highs and low lows.
Yes.
In the dance event.
For sure. How about we discuss pairs next?
Yes.
Because that final flight in the free skate in the pairs event was mind-bogglingly amazing.
Spectacular. We were joking in the practice yesterday morning that we wanted a 4-way tie for first because all 4 of those teams were incredible.
They were, and even in the practices, all of them were just looking so strong.
Yeah.
I really felt bad for Boykova and Kozlovsky because, again, I wish everybody in that final flight could have been on the podium, but those 2 especially are just so strong, and they were a little held back in the PCS, especially in the short program.
Yeah, their short program didn't do that well.
Yeah.
The free skate was a little closer to everybody. I understand, the free skate being a little bit further back, but I mean, that short program was so great. And
they just killed it all weekend.
Yeah.
I mean,
the
couldn't ask for better. Yeah.
Were gorgeous and huge. And the twist is so great. And they really have like a really strong connection with especially their free skate music.
Yeah, that free skate is a fantastic program. And I was so glad to see it live a couple of times. Because obviously they did it in run-throughs as well.
Yeah. And they do pretty full run-throughs.
Yeah.
Which is really impressive.
Yeah. And then, of course, we had our winners, James and Cypre, who, I mean, we saw them earlier at the Autumn Classic, and they were really strong. But this was just another step above.
This was absolutely incredible. And it's funny seeing them talking about this skate online because they're questioning, how are we going to top this?
Yeah.
Because it was that good.
Yeah.
We got really lucky that we were able to see them skate that well because it was absolutely incredible.
I mean, not a foot wrong, fantastic programs. Just, again, I don't know what else you can ask for except no time violation. That's the only thing.
The time violation, and do exactly that in your free skate, but do the short program better.
Yeah, the short program was still pretty strong.
Yeah.
There was definitely that lift, especially we were going, is that going to be okay?
Yeah.
But even that is nitpicking because
it was minor.
Yeah.
But there were some small flaws in the short program that we can fix because that's all we have to fix for those 2.
Yeah.
Because they were that great.
Yeah. And then Peng Cheng and Young Jin as well. The side-by-side jumps, she mostly did well. Yeah. I was really nervous because she didn't do a ton of them in the practices and was struggling a little bit, especially with the sows. But could have been worse, and everything else is just so fantastically gorgeous. Yeah.
Everything else is textbook.
Yeah.
So the fact that she occasionally pops or falls, especially on the sows, is not the end of the world.
Yeah.
I mean,
you forget about it by the end of the program. Everything else is so good.
If they want to be world champion, we've got to get those side-by-side jumps together. But for, a silver medal at a Grand Prix, that's all it takes.
Yeah.
And I mean, her toes were looking pretty good.
Yeah. Those she was landing pretty well throughout the weekend, which is good to see. And then More Towers and Marinero as well. A few little things, mainly on the side-by-side jumps, which is what had them a bit behind. But for them as well, the lifts are definitely looking stronger. And the free skate, I love for these 2. It's a fantastic program.
No, that free skate is great. Mm-hmm. And you can tell that Michael is really feeling it, which he doesn't normally get as into it.
Yeah.
So it was really good to see him be so excited about the program. And that program had great energy in that building.
Yeah. And really excited as well for Walsh and Michaud to have a much better outing after Skate America, which was a bit disastrous. It was good to see that for basically all of the skaters who were skating back to back, almost all of them improved from their first outing, which was good to see. I know we were definitely worried a bit about that.
Yes, we were very worried about everybody. Everybody was fine, except for the dancers who fell.
Yeah, but they weren't back to back.
But everybody else was basically fine.
Yeah.
So, I was really impressed by Walsh and Michaud and the ability to turn it around in just a few days.
Yeah. If we move on to the ladies, this one was overall pretty strong.
Yeah.
We definitely had our fair share of mistakes, especially from Medvedeva in the short program. She was mad coming in.
She was so angry coming into that free
Even
skate.
in the practices, just the look on her face, like, nope, not letting go of any of this.
She was here for business.
Yeah.
And she was able to recover pretty well considering she had to skate in the first flight.
Yeah.
But I mean, we all know she wanted better than bronze here.
Yeah. And it was a pretty close thing. But I mean, if you have that kind of a disaster on your combination in the short program, I mean, it's to be expected that you're coming from behind. It's a real shame too, because that's a great short program, especially.
Yeah.
I like the free, but I think the short program, I really love for her, this different look.
Yeah, it's a little bit more youthful, which we haven't seen from her.
Mm-hmm.
She's still so young, and we see her with these super mature programs, and it's nice to see her liven up a little bit in the short when it goes well.
Yeah. And then, of course, we had Tuktumisheva with the win. I wasn't quite sure what to expect from her, if she'd be able to keep it up, but we saw a couple fantastic triple axels from her in the practices. Yeah. And then the one in the short
was amazing.
Yeah. She seemed to be a little cautious in the free skate, I think, just trying to hang on as opposed to going all out. That was my impression anyway.
Yeah, that's the problem with being in the lead after the short, is you have to hang on to your position as opposed to being even second in the short. You're fighting for first.
Yeah.
So she did look a little bit tentative, but I mean, the fall on the axle, but everything else was pretty good.
Yeah, and good to see her coming back strong in the post-Olympic season. It's
I wasn't ready for that, but we should have expected it.
Yeah, we should have.
Yeah.
And then we were so excited for Meiko Yamashita. Again, haven't rewatched anything, but I think we were definitely the loudest screamers for her. Because everybody was leaving after Tuktumisheva. No, stay. She's going to be fantastic.
And she was.
Because the thing is, she was nailing it in every single practice, just consistently looking so strong. And just, I knew you're going to go clean. There's no way you're going to make a mistake. She just...
foot perfect.
Yeah. And through everything was looking amazing.
And so gorgeous in terms of like the actual skating and the execution of the choreography.
Yeah, that free skate was a fantastic way to end the competition as a whole, because she closed out the whole thing. Still don't love the singer in the short program.
Yep. Never will.
Yeah. And I think that honestly is what kept her from the overall win.
Yes. Because
it was so close.
Less than a half a point from the overall win. And had the judges not hated her short program music so much, she might have been first overall.
Yeah. And then
so there's a moral for you. Be selective about the singer you choose.
Yeah, because it's painful in arena. Those high notes are really...
The high notes are painful. The number of times we heard it on arena speakers this weekend and just cringing the entire time.
Yeah. And then Wakaba Higuchi broke my heart a bit. It was good to see her with a strong short program, because it's a great program.
That short program is amazing. Talk about a program you could hear us during.
Yeah, the free skate, though, she was definitely looking off and on during practices. A lot of, especially the flips and Lutzes, giving her trouble. And yeah, it was definitely a struggle in that free skate. She had to cut out even some choreography and things to get the jumps done.
Favorite.
Yeah, there was a
choreographic moment.
Yeah,
to be honest, my favorite choreographic moment too,
where she does a triple flip and then does a knee slide up into a double axel in the second half. It's fantastic.
She didn't land the triple flip well enough to do the knee slide into the axle, so it was just a bunch of cross cuts into the axle, which is not nearly as good.
Yeah, I was glad as well to see, skaters like Daria Panenkova be able to come back. She was looking rough in the practices. She had me worried for a bit.
Yeah, it looked like she might have been injured, but she was able to fight pretty well through that free skate.
Yeah, so an up and down ladies event, but I, was excited for the medalists, and again, just so thankful that Yamashita was closing us out.
Yes.
Because we knew that she would carry us home.
It was so great.
And on a high note.
Yeah.
All right. And then the men. That men's short program
was a wild ride.
It was ridiculous. I can't think of another event recently that was so strong from just about everybody.
The number of guys in the first flight who scored 80 points or more in that short program. I can't imagine you go out and you do your short program and you get 82 points and you're in the first flight.
Yeah. And because it was, there were 3 guys, I'm pretty sure, below 80 points after the short program, which is just so amazing. And it was that was the one where the crowd was definitely building and building, because the excitement of everybody, just knowing that everybody was going clean.
Yeah, it was really exciting to see, especially somebody like Keegan Messing, who is a bit of an up and down skater, but a hometown favorite. Canadians love him.
Yep.
Because he is exciting and a little bit wild and an entertainer.
An entertainer on the ice for sure. It was really great for him to win that short program.
Yeah.
Although that was definitely a scary fall for on the axle. We were definitely disappointed not to be able to see either program clean from Shoma.
Yeah.
It was going so well in the free skate too. And then, I don't know, he seemed to get really close to the boards on a favorite combination.
The triple axel half loop.
Or Euler, triple flip. Same difference.
That he couldn't even extend the free leg fully behind him without kicking the boards.
Yeah.
So it was a tough one for him. But there's no denying the quality of the skating skills. And
well, and everything in the first half was just so gorgeous looking.
All of the quads were amazing.
Yeah.
It was the triples.
Which is funny. Need to go home and work on those triples, I guess.
Apparently.
Yeah. And really excited as well for Junhwan Cha having a great competition. And for him as well, I really hope that he has a good second outing, because he is competing next weekend in Finlandia, which might be tough, but I'm just so glad that he got the second one, because he didn't originally have a second assignment.
And after winning a medal, the likelihood of some federations giving you a second chance to come out, a little bit slim. So glad that he got his second assignment before he won this medal, so that he's got a chance to make it to the final, because he's in contention.
Yeah, he all season has just been looking so confident. And obviously everybody loves the programs, especially that free skate. If you didn't see the banner, the June Liette banner that was up behind us.
It was so funny.
With a little Conrad Orzel face on it. I don't know why.
I don't know why. But it was weird and hilarious, and everybody was really excited about that free skate in that arena. That really is a crowd pleaser. It's super weird, but it's a crowd pleaser.
Yeah. And then I was really excited as well to be able to see Nam go clean after.
Yeah.
He had a pretty strong Skate America, but he just could not put a foot wrong in competition, because the practices weren't looking that strong. But
he seemed to be really struggling in the practices. To be fair, during yesterday's free skate practice, there was something else on his mind.
Oh, yes.
He was wearing, a pair of pants that did not fit, that clearly were too small because the pockets were bulging way out. And I turned to Mary and said, his pants are too small. He needs to get new pants. And then ripped. There were holes on both sides,
like on the seam, on the side of the pants.
At least he had backup pants.
Yes.
But why were you even wearing the pants that were too small? Because then after they started to rip, you could see him touching the holes on the pants, and oh no, how much are my pants ripping? And so that's all he was thinking about for the second half of practice yesterday morning.
Yeah, it was definitely distracting everyone, including him, because he first noticed during his run through and stopped to look at his pants to see what was happening.
Yeah. So moral of the story is, don't wear ill-fitting pants.
Yeah.
Wear pants that fit correctly, please.
But yeah, I'm trying to think of, there were just so many
amazing
skates. Especially those short programs. I really felt for Jason Brown.
Yes.
Who obviously was way behind.
He really struggled this weekend.
I was really surprised to see him attempt the quad sow in the free skate. Because again, we were watching practices.
They were not going well.
He popped
90% of them.
I was going to say 3/4 at least of the quad sows that he tried.
Yeah, somewhere between 80 and 90% of those quads he popped.
And even the ones that he did rotate were very clearly under-rotated, mostly 2-footed. No falls that I can recall.
I don't think so.
But it was not a good...
We didn't see a single clean quad sow.
No.
In 3 days of practice.
Yeah.
Because he was doing them off and on for 3 days.
Yeah. And really focusing on it, like doing a lot of attempts and just kept popping and going back. And
in every practice except for the short program specific practice that we saw, he was doing mostly quad sows.
Yeah, which is why it was so surprising to me that they put it in at all. It just seemed like an unnecessary risk because, again, his stats were terrible this weekend as to how many he landed.
I mean, I don't really understand that strategy. If you can't pull it together in practice, what makes you think you're going to do it successfully in competition when the pressure is 4 times as much?
Yeah.
And you've got the adrenaline pumping. I don't understand that strategy.
I mean, at least the triple axles were definitely looking stronger for him. That's good to see. And they were, looking stronger at the Autumn Classic as well. But this is definitely, I'll be interested to see what the strategy is in his next event as regarding the quad.
I mean, it doesn't, at the same time, it seemed like he had nothing to lose in that free skate. He was so far back of everybody else.
Yeah.
And I mean, he recovered really well.
Yeah.
But he could have recovered better without the popped quad.
Yeah. But still, though, that men's event as a whole was really fantastic.
We need to talk about one more man, though.
Yes.
Kevin Amos.
Oh,
we haven't talked about Kevin Amos.
That's what I was thinking.
What's wrong with you?
I was trying to think. There was somebody else I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, is Kevin Amos.
Yes, that's the one. If you heard people screaming, that was us.
We were the only people screaming.
Nobody else seemed to care. We were trying to get the crowd pumped.
Fun story. 2 listeners came and found us. And the way that they found us was they were watching section 111, our section, waiting to see who was the most intensely watching Kevin Amos.
Yeah.
And figured out that it was us.
Because we were the only 2 standing ovations for him in the entire
both programs.
Yeah. Because they were both so strong.
They were so good.
Not perfect, but better than Autumn Classic, to be sure. And those programs are just so great and sorely unappreciated by the local crowd.
And the judges.
Yeah, that too. Especially in the PCS.
The PCS were not high enough.
No, nowhere near.
Also, the GOE on the choreo sequence and the step sequence.
Yeah.
I guarantee you it wasn't a +5, and that's what he deserves. Is a +5 on both of those.
Yeah, it was really too bad that he wound up sort of down the standings, but it was just, how strong of an event this was, because he as well was fantastic.
Such an amazing pair of skates. Yeah. And I mean, he is so emotionally invested in both programs from start to finish. Even in the practices, during the run-throughs, just totally committing to all the choreography every time. A lot of times he didn't do the jumps, but he did all of the choreography, which, let's be honest, is what we care about. That's what we're here for. Yeah, we don't care about your jumps, Kevin. I mean, we do. I hope that they go well. I want them to go well so you can win stuff. Yeah. But in terms of my own personal enjoyment, you can just not jump. Yeah. So I think that wraps up the 4 disciplines. And a fantastic arena. It was a really great trip to Montreal so far. We'll be doing a little bit of sightseeing now that we actually, have time, a tiny bit of time before we have like home. 3 hours. Yeah. That's our sightseeing time. Oh God, why did we decide to do this and not take Monday off? Because we're crazy people. Yes, is why. But it's been a fantastic competition. I don't think we've had any questions or anything from anybody. See any questions. So this is your last call. Opportunity. Type it in the chat if you have anything you want to ask us. Like I said, we will be going back and doing full recaps of everybody when we get home. So we will talk about everybody. Oh, let me think. Okay. Okay, Timothy, we'll wait for you. Yeah. We'll vamp for a couple minutes so you can think. Yeah. Also, we should mention
I don't know if anybody saw on Twitter, but great moment in the ice dance medal ceremony. There were a whole bunch of Gadbois ice dancers there, which was really great to see. We spotted a good few of them.
Quite a lot.
And when Hubble and Donahue were making their rounds for their victory lap, they saw Emmy Bronsard in the corner.
In our little section. We see Maddie and Zach come over to do their pictures with everybody. Yeah. And Maddie just like breaks away and starts skating off.
And it's just like, big what's giant going on?
Yeah. Like a little bit of a scream, really excited, hugging somebody, and was like, who is she hugging? Who is she so excited to see? And they pull away, and it's Emmy Bronsard, little baby ice dancer who we love.
Yes, we talk about her a lot in our junior ice dance recaps because she and her partner are fantastic. But she was just so excited for Madison Hubble.
Okay.
So, let's see.
Practice moments. Okay. What fun practice moments?
When the announcer forgot Evgenia Medvedev's free skate run through, that was great. Terrible, yet great. Yeah. So she was last in the free skate practices for the run throughs
on the first group.
Yeah, on the first group. And so, the announcer goes through all the programs except hers and then says,
there's 11 minutes remaining in this practice session and she is standing at center ice and
just waving her arms.
No. Ted Barton, manning the camera for the practice stream, is next to the announcer and turns around and goes, we could see him go, you forgot somebody important.
Former world champion, Olympic silver medalist, standing in the middle of the ice, waving her arms at you like, no, me, play my music.
And the entire crowd is going, what? You forgot somebody important. Dude, come on.
Yeah.
That was quite a moment.
I'm trying to think of other practice. I mean, less fun, but there were many, many close calls in the ice dance practices.
God. Yes.
Yeah, they always make me so nervous because they just several almost collisions. Luckily, no actual collisions because that would have just made it even worse.
Patrice Lauzon kept having to yell at his teams like, oh my God, stop trying to run into each other.
I also enjoyed yesterday for the free dance, that second group of free dance where it was the whole team Gadbois coaches on the side because they had 4 teams in the final flight all trying to work with them.
Yeah, and watching them watch their skaters is very enjoyable. Let's do the Marie-France Patrice Lauzon head tilt.
There was a lot of head tilt. They were right across from us, so we got a good view.
We were watching them just head tilting.
Yeah. Actually, we should mention as well, not in the practices, but after the men's event was over, right sort of behind us and up, were Nam Nguyen and Roman Sadovsky just having a wild, crazy time. An ice dance and ladies. And then even like they had the dance cam on at some point and just going insane. Nuts. I don't know if that wound up on the stream.
I don't know if it did, but it should have because that was hilarious.
They were also hooting and hollering for everybody. Yes. And very amusing.
Yep. And then they brought Shoma Uno and
Kazuki Tomono.
Yes. Up to basically you couldn't get there except through a very specific stairwell.
Yeah.
And so we saw Shoma and Kazuki pop into our section going,
how do we get up there?
They
were definitely looking to try and get up to the top. And they did eventually make it there. But then a bunch of fans went to go find Nam and Roman. And then they left. Well,
no, they just moved over a bunch.
Yeah.
They moved over like 2 sections to get away from the fans.
Yeah, they were not as intensely enjoying as Nam and Roman were.
They were intensely enjoying, just quietly.
Yeah.
A fan went over to take a picture during the second ladies free skate warm-up. And they were like, watching, this is important.
Oh, we also saw, again, in the little entrance to our section during the ladies free skate right at the end, Paul Poirier coming to watch the end. And it was in the middle of Tuktumishiba's skate.
Yes.
And an official came over to tap him on the shoulder and be like, hey, you got to go for the medal ceremony. I was like, no, I'm trying to watch here. I'm trying to watch Tuktumishiba.
Yeah. Yes, that was very amusing. He was standing basically right in front of us.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of any other. It's all been kind of a blur.
Yeah, we left Toronto at 6:00 on Thursday morning.
Yeah,
and we have been getting up at like 6 a.m. and getting back to our Airbnb at like midnight every night.
I was about to say like 6 hours-ish of sleep a night. So yeah, because we've been going to all the practices. Just
staying for all the medal ceremonies.
PSA for anybody going to one of these, go to the practices.
Oh my God,
they're some of the best
are
stuff.
So much fun.
Yeah. Also, they're so much more quiet, so you can sit right close to the ice. And
you
enjoy.
can sit wherever you want, which is great.
Right. I think that wraps it all up, unless there's any more questions. Last call for any, actually, maybe check Twitter. I see we have some things.
What is going on?
Have to go into the other tab.
Yes.
No,
yep, nothing.
Just regular notifications.
Yep. Okay.
All right. So thank you all for checking in. And as we said, we'll be back with full recaps later.
Yes, we will see you very soon with the rest of our recaps.
Yep. All right.
Okay.
So goodbye from Montreal.
Oh.